Hello everybody and welcome. And today we'll be continuing on with the same model as last time, and we'll be adding the cranes on top, or the crane rails to be more precise. Now, if you have a look at the drawing provided, you'll see that we've got this plate girder up here with a bunch of stiffness inside, and it goes through the entire building. Now, it does need to split because it can't be the length of the entire building. And you'll find that here it's got these stiffener plates inside, but it's still continuous. Now, what's going to happen here specifically is they're going to split it right here on the centers, but they are going to weld it up on site. So, let's start off by first putting in our plate girder. And in order to do that, we're going to need a nice side view. And I'm going to untick the geometry lines, and that means I can only select reference lines or main points. So when we do it now, we don't have to struggle to find the right spot. It'll more easily snap to the main point on either side. Now let's head on over to our steel, open that up. It'll be an MCR. Or a CB, crane beam. And we need to close up beams because we're looking for a 720 by 350, and we do not have something that's that big. What I'm going to do is just go to my drop down menu, go to catalogs, and add it as a profile. So let's see, we're looking for an eye, we're looking for a plate girder. Now this is the closest one we do have to the actual size, so we're going to use that as our base, and we're going to say make a copy of that. Now once you've made a copy, head on over to the top name and just remove copy. Change the flange, we're looking for a 20 thick, that is correct. We're looking for a 16 web, so change that to 16250. And that'll be that one over there. Press enter just to confirm, but that was only the name. Now we need to do the same thing with the actual dimensions. 550, and the width is 16. Okay. And this is going to be in these three spots. For now, I'm going to delete those two. That's probably the best way to start off with, as they'll all basically look the same in the middle. Now, the first thing we need to do is to take these ends, and we're going to put in a 20mm bearing stiffener. We're going to look for stiffness, and we're going to look for our normal 1003. And this is going to go right at the end. Actually not right on the end, about 10 back, as this is 20 thick. And we're going to go over there, just make these 20. Also, I'm going to take both of these and then just shorten them by 2mm and do the same for this side. Now, like we did the plate here at the bottom, this continuity plate also needs to, this rocker plate, right under that or above that, we've got the continuity plate. So that's going to be 16 thick by 250 long. This is going to be a continuity. and a CP. Excellent. Grab over there and just say it has to be 520. Now, this will most likely help if I just change it to behind, as I'm using the top. I'm also going to move it back by 2 millimeters. Get that point right on the middle. Then I'm going to grab it in the middle and move it back again. Good. Now, I'm not going to weld any of this stuff to the frame. I'm just going to put a note in that requests that it is welded on site. Next thing we're going to do are these shaped stiffeners that come into the plate grid. So let's head one down to 1041. Now, it doesn't show that well in the picture, but this is a shaped stiffener, and you can make it however long you want. Now we're going to need points for this, as we'll be putting it in intermediate positions. So I'm going to put a point down at the start and then create a copy. This is going to be 600 for the axis, and I'm going to say 10 as that. Now for our stiffener itself, this inside corner is going to be 68. Part wise, it's going to be 60 thick and 150 long. So 380 applied, and we can put it in the first and every second thereafter, every two thereafter, and that'll be done with that. These longer ones are 50 less than the bottom flange, should give us about 620. So we can put this in here, 620 applied, and put that in there. Now, never trust your own math, at least I never trust mine, so I'm just going to take a measurement from the bottom to there and make sure that it is in fact what I wanted it to be. So in this case it's not, that should be a 30 instead. Let's try this again. 50, excellent, now it works. Okay, so the next item we want to put in is our rail. So let's head over to steel, open up the beams. I'm going to call this crane rail, so CR. As for the profile, it'll be right here at the bottom under user defined fixed. If we open up rail, we'll find that rail 40. Now the name of the rails is obviously based on their weight. This goes front because I'm on top, and let's make this something like a yellow, so it's nice and visible. Now this is not going to be the final position or size of the rail. I'm going to split it, but I would like to split it in the middle of a section, since I'd like these to be continuous. So what I'm going to do is go over to edit and just split it with a split command. Right in the center will do. Next, we don't want a straight off cut. We want this to be at an angle, just to prevent it from forming, well, a sharp edge. So if it does kind of press down a little bit for some reason, it does that at an angle, so the two sides line each other. Now let's take this to a parallel plane, and then we're going to take these and say move, rotate, grab that, and we want to move it by 60 degrees. Next thing I want to do when doing the cut itself, fit part end, let's make this a little bit see-through. Next thing is, of course, the mounting points. Now, to mount this rail, they are going to be using a clip. They're going to use a Gantro clip of this number at 640 millimeters in 12s. We're at 8.8 volts over here, and they are going to be torqued down to 390. Now, we do not have these rail clips in our catalog, at least as far as I know, and I don't think we've got a component for them as far as I know. So what we are going to do is create our own little custom clip. I'm going to start off by getting a front view. So let's start off with views, new view, 2 points, use gridline B, that's going to be fine. And we are going to basically just draw it out of a contour plate. I would suggest looking up and getting a catalog for the specific rail clip you're going to be using. In this case, 15 by 35. This is the rail clip from Gant. So from the rail edge, we've got 73 or 37 right from the edge to the bolt center, and the width extra that our bolts need to be is Z, which is 23. Now, this looks fairly haphazard, and to be honest, it is fairly haphazard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a contour plate. And as you can see, this is just a random little piece of metal. Next, we're going to say between these two, just get our lines back, between these two, there's a bolt roughly this position over here, and we're going to face it inwards. Let's turn this to top or bottom, below. Okay, and we've got our rough estimate right over there. Now, this is still on the center line, and according to our draw, it needs to be 640 every. So we are going to move it by, well, half of it. So that's going to be 320. And let's make this wide. Since this is an 20, we're going to be using 70. So the reason why we are doing this so haphazardly, change this to M, is because this is a bought out part. In other words, the material is going to be component. There's going to be no drawing of this. Basically, the only reason we want this is so that we can give a amount. So this is going to be 3 in 0 or O, not sure. 15, 35, 19. C for a rail clip, and that is going to be exactly what we want. Alright, now this thing needs to mirror over to the other side. Always change the axis back to the global, because you are mirroring over your XY plane. Everything but mirror. Let's grab the mirror, and we've got now the 2 rail clips, one on either side. Next, grab these 2 clips, go to special, linear, clear all that, and we're going to have 640. these aren't the final positions of the clips, as you'll see in a moment. They don't 100% line up with the actual size of the beam, but what we are going to be doing is taking these and we're going to move it back by 20. So just there, right over there, set 20, so that it's flowing from the side. Now what this will do is it'll put it right in the middle of these stiffeners, which is also a very nice position for them to be. Let's make that 0, let's make that 10, and copy the last one is not necessary. That should be it for the standard rail. In other words, one over here. So now we're going to say, right, we want well, just about everything. Let's head on back to the side view, change our resolution to just be steel, and grab all of the stuff, components, and we can just take copy right over to that side, and we've got a perfect copy of it on this side. Now what I am going to be doing is combining these two and getting rid of these cuts, as they are wholly unnecessary. So let's look here, these are the cuts, those lines over there, if we select them, and we are going to combine them, as we'll only be having a couple of longer rails instead of short rails. Now I'm not going to do the combination over here right at this moment, but since first I would like to change the end to be, well, the end, as this is the final point of our rail. We are going to change this into, let's see, the rail stop right over here. Now the rail stop is basically going to hang over the entire thing ever so slightly by, well, not 1500. Let's just match this over here, 150. So this here is going to change. Firstly, it's going to move right up to the center. Secondly, it's going to move 150 extra. Now the stiffener on the end is going to be a little bit different from the others, as it's going to be 25 thick instead of just 20, and we're going to have this nice little plate bracket over here. So for this one over here, we are going to be laying it out with lines, but first let's get rid of that rail clip. Okay, let's see, edit, construction line, start up here somewhere, and finish under there. Take this line, copy special linear. I'm going to say x is minus 75. Would like 2 of those. Well, next we're going to do it positive 75 this way. Then we're going to do 150. Want 2 of them. So 2, copy, another 2 at 75, and then 1 at 45. Go. And that should be roughly it. I'm going to take this stiffener over here, apply that, 1051. I'm going to take it and put it right over there, and change it to our 20 thick stiffener. Now, although it does appear shorter in the CAD drawing, I'm not going to bother making it shorter, as they don't really give us a actual size there. So I'm just going to leave it same size, much easier. Let's close this. Next, we're going to head over to steel, open up our beam, and load up a standard plate. This will be just a lowercase p, and this is going to be a stopper bracket. So stopper bracket. Now obviously you can name that bracket, stopper, rail stopper, anything that's fairly descriptive of what it does, and that'll be fine. They don't give us a width, so we're going to say about 300 should be fine. It can't be more than 350, which is the width of the plate girder. It's basically just should be enough of the crane from going off the rails. And then the wooden block that comes on there is only about 260 by 210, so 300 is a good size. Let's apply this, and we're going to start off anywhere over here, and we would like it to be all the way right up to the end over there. Now obviously it's not going to be right here up to the end, it's a little bit shorter, but they don't really give us a position, so we're going to have to work that one out. Next, let's get this rail out of the way. Let's take it and move it from where it's currently at, wherever that is, plus a little bit extra just to give it clearance. Next thing is going to be right here in the middle of this piece, in the middle of this 20. We're going to have the one that goes right up the top, and that's going to be 480. So grab it right there, say 480 upwards, and from here we can take it and move it right to the center. Now from here it's going to go to the back by 200 less than 20, so 180. This way, let's just drop it down, front to behind. There we go. Next, from this point over here, we would like it to go back 400 down by 400. So we're going to press R. Here we're going to say the X, in other words, the first one over here is going to be minus 400. The Y, which is looking away from us, we don't really want anything to do with the Y. So we're going to say comma 0, and the Z we would like it to go down. So again, comma minus 400 this time, and that should put us in the right position. Alright, now from here we'll take the last one and just finish it off. And there we go. Now we can take the end and shorten it by 10. Good. Once that's done, what we want to do next is take these and then shorten them a little bit up. So take that one over there, shorten it a little bit down. Instead of moving the node like I just did, you can always go to edit and use a fit part end to just shorten it to where it actually touches. Now you've got the basic frame. From here, you can go back to steel and open up the contour plate. Change this to lowercase as well and make this 20. Since everything here is going to be roughly the same 20 thick plate. And of course the note says welded plate end stock 20 thick. And we're going to make this entire inside nice 20 thick plate. Once that's done, we are going to say weld up everything for now before we add any of the other stuff. What we want is a plate that is 280 long. So from here downwards, 280, and then from there it has to move down by 10. A little bit, 10, good. Next, let's close that, this as well. Open up the beam. We are going to change material to wood. Timber undefined. And we're going to change the name to Balau we're going to make the thickness 80, and we're going to make it 260 wide. 260 wide. There we go. Then from here we're going to take it and we're going to make it a 210 long. Let's just change our class to say 8. It's a nice difference between them. We're going to grab them somewhere in the middle. Grab them in the middle, move it down by 35 so that it's center on center. Let's have a look at the 3D. That looks around right. Now, this wooden block is going to be affixed to this entire thing with a couple of coach screws. But unfortunately, we do not have coach screws inside our Tekla bolt catalog. I'm going to say just on a bolted group on those two plates. Grab the center over there and put it down. Next, I'm going to say right here at the center, put a construction line in for my stiffness that are going to come in here. And then I'm going to say, right, so let's say minus 45 at 90. Have a look at that. I might be able to go a little bit more. So how about minus 50 at 100? That looks good. And here I'm going to say 140 across. And I'm going to change this to just be holes, M20 holes. Now, as you can see, there's no holes in the wood, but there is holes in the steel. So they're going to pick two of these holes, most likely cross or across, and they're just going to put a coach screw in from the back, and it's going to bite into the wood, and that'll be done when they assemble this stopper. Right. Next thing, take this over here and copy it from center down to over there. Remove that cut, and I'm going to just lengthen it by an indeterminate amount. I just want it longer, so that when I shorten it, I can get right up to there at the tip. Next, this thing is not straight through, it's only on one side. So we're going to say half of 300 is 150 minus the half of the thickness here. So that's another 10. Should give us 140. We're going to change our middle to left or right, doesn't really matter. And we're going to add 10. Grab that. A piece of stiffener on the one side. And that's good enough. Next, we're going to take this and just copy it and put it down exactly on the same spot. Now, Tekla is going to warn us that we are making duplicates, and that is the idea, so just accept that. Select one of the two duplicates and go and swap handles. Swap handles, great. Once you've swapped handles, you'll have one on either side. Next, I'm going to grab the welding again and just weld everything to it. That includes the wooden block. Now, let's head back to the side and go fix up our bolts with that. So I'm going to load up my command, and I'm just going to reset this to my standard. Alright, so that's going to give me a bolt over there. Now, cross centers wise, as we've got a 300 wide, 140, 180 thereabouts should do. Next, I'm going to say minus 75 over here to get it to the accurate starting position. And then I'm going to say I would like it at 850, and let's say, well, not 13. Get rid of that. Say about 4 of those. So 4 times 150, and that gives me all the bolts that I currently need. Good. Next, we do need a small little stiffener over here. So I'm going to say, just get rid of all those lines. I'm going to move this one down to right over here, and then move it down again by 20. So easiest is just getting a line over there before doing this. Scrap that, there, over there. Go, and we can delete that just to fix up on the building. Good. Now we'll press Alt, just click on it somewhere, just to make sure that the entire thing is an assembly, and it is. Now, as you've noticed, we've got nothing here underneath, so we're going to take our continuation plate and just copy it over to this one here, that one over there, and that one over there, so that we've got it underneath all of them. Next, I'm going to change my selection to just feature parts, select objects, select here, the beam, and here we're going to say copy special, rotate, grab the point right there in the middle, and copy it 180 degrees. This should give us our beam exactly the same on the other side. Once that's done and you've checked that everything actually came out the way it should, go to Edit, use Combine to combine these two rails, as well as these two as well. Let's just change our selection back to what it was, redraw. That should be roughly about everything there. Got now our stiffness on both sides, our stoppers. Now, if you notice on the stiffness, most of them have these massive gaps over here. That 80, let's just check that, yeah, that's 68. But we do not have that for our ends. And unfortunately, we do need them for the ends, since these are mostly there for the drip dry part of our galvanizing. We will need to add them to the rest of our stiffness as well. So we're going to select all of those, head on over here, and just add 68 to these two as well. This way, once I've dumped it, they can just leave it out and it'll run out everywhere instead of pooling. Now, as for the bottom side, there's nothing there that allows you to do that. Change selection to items in components. I'm going to double click the one right up there, create a direct view. Let's just get those 2 points. Change this to, well, add a couple of zeros on each side. Get a nice front view. And as you can see now, we can select all of them, highlight the little tab, select all of them, use an Alt area select to grab all of those, close that, and that should be it for the rails. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time when we do the walkway and the brackets.